Words cannot express how excited I am for Godzilla King of the Monsters movie to come out. I believe it's coming out in May in the UK. I'm not sure about in America, but in the UK, I believe it's coming out in May. And I am super stoked for this film. Every footage I've seen from this film, every still image, any trailer I see, I am having great vibes from it. I am absolutely excited the direction they're taking with this film, because one of the main problems I had with Godzilla 2014, directed by Gareth Edwards, I believe, is that it's the movie is called Godzilla, but Godzilla's barely in it, and it was you see him, he's about to fight another one of the creatures I think they call Mutos. I don't think it's called a Mutos. I think Muto is just a category of what the monsters belong to. So I don't know what the monster is actually called. But when he's about to fight, it always cuts to black, or it always transitions to the next scene. And it done this like three times, I believe. And it was so annoying. So when the final fight does happen at the end, it was cool. But at the same time, I wish I could have seen more. Especially when the main focus of the movie was with that, I forgot the actor's name, but the main Marine soldier guy, I forgot his name. He played he was in Avengers Age of Ultron as Quicksilver. I swear the guy's acting was boring for the time. He was stoic, he was boring. I didn't give a crap about him. I gave a crap about Bryan Cranston and his character, but they killed him off, which is, I believe, one of the worst choices they made. They could bring him back if they could write a way to bring him back, but honestly, that was the worst decision they ever made. But in this one, they go into complete different direction in a sense of Godzilla. I assume you'll see not just Godzilla, but other monsters like Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah. And it won't be this cat and mouse thing. It won't just cut to black. You'll actually see a full-fledged fight, that's one of the reasons why I'm excited for it. And the other reason why I'm super excited for this film is their portrayal of Godzilla. Because in 2014, the portrayal of Godzilla in 2014, I had no problem with. In 2014, they explained that he's just like an ancient animal that just awoken. They treat him as, not treat him, but they explain he's just like any other animal that you see on this planet. But the difference is he's gigantic and he's ancient. He's been around the earth for a very, very long time. I assume he predates the dinosaurs. I assume because he's very, very old. Not assume, because I read the prequel comic where they state that he's very, very old. I forgot which era he was. But he was born in the era of the Earth when it was still new-ish and radioactive. So I forgot which era or which time period it was. But the fact is he's very old. And he's just an animal. He's an apex predator. And he's just doing his thing. So when he sees creatures that comes out, he more or less tries to bring balance to the planet. So when he sees these two monsters, that he just not assumes, but by his natural senses that we don't know yet, he perceives of these two monsters that will destroy the balance of this planet. So he went to take them out. So that was the gist of Godzilla in 2014. But in this one, and the way the director was explaining what Godzilla is, or to be more accurate, what Godzilla is to the humans, is very, very satisfying. Because I remember reading an interview where he basically said, Godzilla in this universe, he's not just an animal that they portrayed him to be in 2014. He's this gigantic, sentient, ancient creature that once upon a time humanity had a connection with. And then after the connection was broken, he went into hiding because the planet was becoming less radioactive. So he went into hiding, and I assume that the humans were doing their own thing, and then we became what we are now, and the connection was cut. And the way he said it's just, it was so fascinating. And I assume that there were other factions. Like, for example, if you know who Mothra is, which I assume a lot of people know who Mothra is, apparently she's like the good guy, the good monster, while Rodan, he's this neutral guy but doesn't give a shit. Mothra, she's this benevolent goddess, this who loves the humans. And I assume there was a faction of humanity back then that worship her. So is Rodan, and so is Godzilla. But in Godzilla's case, there was this connection he had with humanity. Whatever this connection is, we don't know. I hope that they explored this in the film, but I doubt it. But it's one of the things that I would love for them to explore. Maybe in a graphic novel or whatever. So they made Godzilla into this entity, into this godlike, not godlike, but into this entity that primitive humans see Godzilla as this godlike being, and they had just some sort of connection, which we don't know about. But I guess they worship Godzilla, and in turn Godzilla protects them and protects the balance of the earth and whatever, since he's the king of the monsters, the subtitle of the title. But now the connection is broken. Maybe in this film we learn more about it and him reestablishing that connection, or maybe he's gonna, since he's fighting King Ghidorah, maybe he's just gonna reclaim his title as king. I don't know, but it's one of these things that I'm super interested in. Is this world building and lore? I think this is why I'm so excited for the movie, because the potential of the world building and the lore that this movie is gonna put in this incarnation of Godzilla that I cannot wait for. I literally cannot wait for this movie. I'm more excited for this movie than Captain Marvel, if I'm going to be honest. I cannot wait for this movie. Hopefully, I would see it when it's first released. I doubt it, but I will see the movie regardless. I will see the movie regardless, and I hope it lives up to my expectation, which I think it will. It is a great time to be a Godzilla fan. So not even a Godzilla fan, but like a kaiju fan in general.